Hi everyone, in this lesson, you will learn how to add and subtract negative and positive numbers. You can pause my video at any time, then go back to where you left off. Many numbers you use represent situations which have directions as well as size. A number which has a direction and a size is called directed number. A directed number can either be negative or positive. Directed numbers are real numbers. Positive numbers are numbers larger than 0, and are sometimes written with a small plus sign placed in front of them. For example, the plus 3 and plus 7 written here are positive numbers. Most times we leave the plus sign off the positive number. Therefore, a 3 with a plus placed in front of it and a 3 without a plus sign mean the same. They both mean positive 3. Similarly, negative numbers are numbers that are smaller than 0 and are always written with a minus sign placed in front of them. For example, this 6 is a negative number. I want to show you some easy ways of adding and subtracting negative and positive numbers. Look at example 1. This is something you are familiar with, but pretend you do not know the answer and follow my basic rule. In this example, you have a positive 5 minus 3. Now, think of the 5 as you having 5 positives, since this is a positive number, and think of the 3 as having 3 negatives. See, I have this lined up for you. You should have noticed that 3 of the negatives can cancel out 3 of the positives, and we are left with 2 positives. So, you see that 5 take away 3 equals positive 2. Example 2. We are using the same method shown in example 1. What is the result when you have 4 minus 7? Now, looking at what is shown, we will think of the 4 as having 4 positives, and the 7 as having 7 negatives. The 4 positives can cancel out 4 of our negatives and we are left with 3 negative. So you see that 4 minus 7 must equal negative 3. Example 3. Most times when the numbers are written in a reverse form, students find it harder to see. But if you follow my easy rule, problems like these will not be difficult for you. Looking at this example, what is negative 6 plus 10? Again, we will follow the same rule of thinking of the 6 as having 6 negatives, since there is a minus sign in front, and thinking of the 10 as having 10 positives. The 6 negatives will cancel out 6 positives, and you are left with 4 positives. So the answer for this problem is positive 4. Example 4. In this example we have both numbers having the same sign. They are both negative. This problem is read as negative 5 minus 6. Now we can think of having 5 negatives and 6 more negatives, so in total, we have 11 negatives. So your answer for this problem is negative 11. Example 5. Sometimes the numbers you get to work with will be larger than the ones in our previous examples. The rules we will follow are easy as the previous ones. What we are going to do here is look at the number that appears to be larger just by taking the absolute value. Sometimes it only appears to be larger, but it might not be the larger number. The rule is this. If the number that appears to be larger has a minus sign, then our answer will be a negative number. In this example, we have minus 50 plus 42. What we can do is subtract the one that appears to be smaller from the one that appears to be larger and put a minus in our answer, since we need in our answer the sign of the number that appears to be larger. So, negative 50 plus 42 must equal negative 8. Now, I want you to pause this video, then work these problems. When you have completed them, allow the video to continue so that you can see my answers. Let's see how well you have done with these problems. These are the answers. Number 1, positive 3. Number 2 answer is also positive 3. Question 2 is the same problem given in number 1. It is only written in the reverse form. The answer for number 3 is negative 6, number 4 is positive 2, number 5 is negative 1, number 6 is positive 6, number 7 is negative 3. Observe that you have 7 positives and a total of 10 negatives. So, 7 positives will cancel out 7 of the negatives, leaving 3 negatives. The answer for number 8 is positive 1, number 9 is positive 9, and number 10 is negative 12. Give yourself a star for scoring 100%. How do we know when to say minus and when to say negative? This question was asked by one of my students. Well, to begin with, if I say to you, 4, 9, or I might say, 6, negative 8, all I have done is called 4 numbers. I have not told you anything about those numbers. You do not know whether I want you to multiply them, divide them, add them, subtract them, or just remember them. If I say 4 plus 9, then I have told you to add 2 numbers. So, what you must understand is that if you say negative 8, you are talking about a number, but if you say minus 8, you are talking about a mathematical operation. This tends to get complicated when you have things like sample 1 and sample 2. Sample 1 should be read as negative 5 plus 8, and not minus 5 plus 8. However, you could read it in the reverse form as 8 minus 5. Sample 2 should be read as negative 3 times negative 2, and not minus 3 times minus 2.